All right, breaking news coming out today, January the 28th, 2025, as in the White House press secretary, the new White House press secretary's first meeting, she has now revealed the New Jersey drones. I'm going to share with you the video footage where they originated from, gave all the details. This was about roughly 2 hours ago or so. I'm just going to share with you the latest, but take a look. So first, let me know, did you think that it was from the United States? Did you think that it was from China, Iran? Did you think that it was aliens? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Well, take a look at the headlines coming out, you guys. The first thing that she said was she came out and let us know that the White House reveals that Trump's explanation for the New Jersey drones, and she raises even more questions. Oh, actually, so this one doesn't tell you where it's from, but I'm going to read this article so that way you know. But the next one lets us know. Take a look. The White House says that the New Jersey drones were authorized to be flown by the FAA. This was not the enemy, says the press secretary, on flurry of drones spotted in the East Coast skies in December. So Donald Trump's White House press secretary is coming out, and she is saying that these were authorized by the FAA, that these were U.S. drones. Now, I just got this information. I was out and about with the family, also running some errands, got home, and I just saw the news, so I haven't even seen this myself yet. So you and I were going to be both watching this together, getting the information as it's coming out from me right now. But this actually came out, like I said, in a press briefing about 2 hours ago from the White House press secretary, revealing the truth about the New Jersey drones. And they are saying that the truth is that they are actually U.S. drones. Now, the article says that there are more questions now than there are answers. I don't know what those are. Like I said, I'm actually going to be reading these live with you at the same time. I just saw the news and was like, I got to hop on immediately and get people this information. So I have not even gone through this. Typically, I do. I vet everything. I know what's going on. I don't. So we're just going to go through this together. And if you appreciate that, do me a favor, take a quick second if you haven't done so yet. Hit that like button for me. That simple gesture just takes a second and it helps spread this out further, helps out the channel a ton. I appreciate it. Also hit subscribe to stay up to date, as it is totally free. Why not? I'll keep you up to speed on everything. And there is a lot going on right now. Also these articles, I cite all the sources, put it on the screen, read right from it, have it hyperlinked in the description, so that way you can rest assured and know that this is the latest information. Articles linked in the description below, along with also additional resources if you want to start preparing for who knows what for you and your family. So all of that is going to be linked down below. But let's go ahead and get ready and get you the latest information that's coming out and go through the articles, because what I'm hearing is that this clip here, it's like 30 seconds long. Not very much information, but we've got articles coming out that give us a little bit more details. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So let's start off with the video footage so that way you can see it for yourself.
And before I turn to questions, I do have news directly from the President of the United States that was just shared with me in the Oval Office. From President Trump directly, an update on the New Jersey drones. After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy. A statement from the President of the United States to start this briefing with some news.
So there you have it, you guys. So she started off the briefing with some news on the drones, and she said that they were from the FAA, that these are the United States drones, and she said that a lot of them, though, that were being reported are actually hobbyist drones. So giving at least a little bit more information than what we had from the Biden administration that said, we don't know what this is at all, which everyone was like, you think we're stupid. Like, we know that you know what's going on. And sure enough, they were our drones. But why would they lie to the American people about this? Let me know your thoughts. Why did the Biden administration lie to us and not just tell us that there are drones? Now, she also did not give a explanation for the drones, just that they were approved to fly by the FAA. So let's go ahead and take a look at this article. And I see people saying they still think that we are not getting the information. Somebody saying, I don't believe it. These are lies about the drones. Somebody else says, you gotta be joking. Martin says it's aliens. Tammy says, for what purpose? Exactly. This clip is like 30 seconds long. We've been waiting for this report, and all we got was 30 seconds of their U.S. drones. So let's take a look at this article. Now, I got one here from the New York Post. Let's go ahead and see what it has to say so that way you can see it for yourself. It says, the White House reveals Trump's explanation for the New Jersey drones, and they raise even more questions. And you can see this just coming out in the past couple of hours here. Now, this says that the White House press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt, said Tuesday that the drones that spooked the New Jersey residents last month, they were not the enemy. Reading aloud President Trump's assessment that many were doing research generating new questions. Okay, so they're saying that they were research drones, but this generates a lot of questions, they said. After the research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Wow. So various other reasons. They didn't specify what those reasons were. Reading Trump's dictations at her first briefing. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy, she said. Now, the explanation did not clarify what research was being performed, in many cases near military bases, or details of what other reasons were at play. Some leading politicians, they have been skeptical of the official explanation that the drones were innocent. Now, I didn't hear her say that they were innocent, did she? Or I heard her say that they were not from the enemy, but it doesn't mean that there is not some sort of nefarious reason going on here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Put a 1 if you are skeptical. Put a 2 if you think it was a nothing burger and that there really is nothing to this, if you actually believe this. Now, I got to say, this explanation seems very vague to me. They didn't explain why this started happening, when this started happening. The FAA apparently approved it. So they have just revealed that essentially we know everything about this, but they're not giving us the information, which again leads us back to the thing that a lot of people speculated. A lot of people were saying before, they were speculating that there were U.S. drones. They said the fact that they were not being fired at, the fact that they weren't taking them down, likely meant that they believed that they were our drones and that they weren't going to be causing harm, and they could say that so confidently because they knew that they were our drones. However, the reason they felt was very nefarious. They felt that the reason for these drones being out there was because they were trying to, a lot of people said they were sniffer drones. We actually heard this from that CEO of that military-grade drone manufacturing company. He had said, these are sniffer drones. There's no reason for them to be out in the middle of the night that low to the ground unless they are looking for something. Now, they haven't given us a reasonable explanation. It just says other reasons. It actually has quotes, other reasons that as to what they were out there for. So it is very, very possible, and it's looking even more likely that the theory that they could be out there looking for something is very plausible. And we had heard this from several individuals. We had heard it from that CEO. We heard it from the mayor of New Jersey saying that there could be some sort of radioactive material that they could be looking for, and that they didn't want to tell the public because they didn't want to spook them. Now, in addition, it says some leading politicians have been skeptical of the official explanation that the drones were innocent. Now, then House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Mike McCall from Texas said last month that he believed that many of the aircrafts were spy drones from China. Now, my judgment based on my experience is that those that are over our military sites are adversarial and most likely are coming from the People's Republic of China, McCall said at the time. We're not getting answers, and I think it's because our government does not know who is behind them, and that is very disturbing to me. Now, the drones, which also were spotted over New York City and in other parts of the country, stoked near hysteria, but federal agencies insisted there was no cause for concern. Now, the FBI and the FAA, the Pentagon, and the Department of Homeland Security said in a joint statement that we assess that the sightings to date include a combination of lawful commercial drones, hobbyist drones, and law enforcement drones, as well as manned fixed-winged aircrafts, helicopters, and even stars that you are mistaking reporting as drones. Now, Trump accused outgoing President Biden and his aides of a cover-up, saying last month that our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into the garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. Now, at the time, the then president-elect also said, I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it, he said. So there you have it. So they are saying that these are U.S. drones. Now, again, it says that it raises more questions, even more questions. And I would have to agree on this, because it's like, hey, the vast majority of people felt that they were U.S. drones because of the way that things unfolded. It just seemed very odd that it would be foreign drones that would suddenly show up here. We wouldn't be able to identify them, or, why wouldn't they come out and say these are enemy drones? We're going to take them down. Or why wouldn't it cause a more of a conflict? But the fact that they said, we don't know where they're coming from, but we know that they're not going to cause any harm. That was a giveaway right there, that they knew exactly what was going on. But then when it started coming out, as that CEO came out and he said, hey, listen, I know these drones, and there's no reason for them to be out, and this late at night and this low to the ground, other than they are looking for something. They are sniffer drones. And he gave a lot of confirmation that he was very confident that that is what it was. And then we had the New Jersey mayor come out and say, some of the briefings that we've received, it makes me feel like they're U.S. drones. They know what's going on and that they're looking for something, and it could be radioactive material. A lot of people concerned, as we had heard rumors of potential dirty bombs entering into the United States, suitcase nukes. People very concerned with a lot of these things, because they were saying that these are U.S. drones, and this is not a good situation, that they are looking for something. Now, this release that we got from the White House, finally getting that report, Donald Trump said that when I get in office, I'm going to share with the public what's going on. He said, give me a little time. He said, I would do it on day one, but let me get through the inauguration. Give me a little bit of time. Well, in the first 24 hours, he assigned it to Susie Wiles, the chief of staff. And then now we're hearing that today, the White House press secretary, the new one, came out in her first briefing, and she said, this is what it is. It was approved by the FAA. They were doing research and then some other reasons as well. That is all the explanation we are hearing so far. Now, let's take a look at this other article, see if there's any more additional information for you here. This one coming out from The Guardian. It says, White House says the New Jersey drones authorized to be flown by the FAA. This was not the enemy, the press secretary says. Now, the article says the White House press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt, said on Tuesday today, about 2 hours ago, that the mysterious drones that were spotted in the sky around New Jersey and the East Coast at the end of last year were authorized to be flown by the FAA. Now, in the first press briefing of Donald Trump's second administration, she said that she had news directly from the President of the United States that was just shared with me in the Oval Office. Now, after research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons, she said, adding that many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. Now, in time, it got worse due to curiosity, she said. This was not the enemy. People started reporting the drones in the sky over northern New Jersey just before Thanksgiving, noting the aerial objects appear to be hovering in formation and returning night after night. A flurry of drone sightings occurred in December, including some seen above residential homes, military installations, and critical infrastructure such as energy facilities, railway stations, and reservoirs. Federal agencies deployed advanced detection technology to the regions where the drones were spotted, as well as trained visual observers. And so this was another thing that tipped a lot of people to think that it was U.S. drones, was the fact that they were going over areas that typically don't allow fly space. They were going over military spaces, critical infrastructure locations in the United States, which is very concerning. But how could they be allowed to fly over that unless the U.S. is saying it is okay on some level? Now, the FBI said that it would receive more than 5,000 reports on drone sightings in a matter of weeks, but only about 100 required further investigation. As more and more drone sightings were being reported, no one seemed to know for certain where the flying objects were from or who was behind them. Lawmakers in New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut and other states on the East Coast demanded answers on behalf of the American public, raised concerns about the drones, and they criticized what they saw as a lack of urgency and transparency on the drone sightings. And I know that a lot of people felt this way. They were like, hey, this is a major concern. Is there something going on? Right now, you're spooking the American public. Why don't you just tell us what's going on? Are these foreign? Because if they're not, why aren't you taking them down? Yet the then President Biden's administration, they just simply said, we don't know what they are, but they're not a threat. And everybody knew that that was a bunch of baloney. Now, one state lawmaker even called for the state of New Jersey to issue a limited state emergency. Drone and national security experts continue to tell the public that there was nothing to worry about, and that in mid-December, a group of federal agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, the FAA, and the Department of Defense, they issued a statement saying that they had examined the tips from concerned citizens and assessed that the sightings were a mix of lawful drones, airplanes, helicopters, and stars. Then the FAA issued a month-long drone ban in parts of New Jersey and New York. Now, at the time, Trump, who was then the president-elect, questioned why government officials had not been more forthcoming and said that the government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right to that garage, Trump said. Former President Joe Biden said at the time that the drones were nothing nefarious and told the public that his administration was following the issue closely, but that there was no sense of danger. And again, notice that they said that the drones are nothing nefarious, but not that they might be searching for something nefarious. So again, it raises the question, is that theory that was there, is that the situation? That there could potentially be something here that is a threat in the United States, and the drones are searching for that. I also found it very interesting. I'm not sure if I shared this with you, that I had posted that theory, and it was just theory. And I said, we don't know what these drones are. One of the theories is this. One of the theories is that these are U.S. drones that are searching for something. Not really sure, but as we get more information, I'll share. But there is also a CEO that's saying this. Instagram shut that post down, blocked it for misinformation, which I don't understand how sharing a theory to which the government's saying they don't know could be misinformation. So I also thought that was very interesting. What do you think about that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And I requested it to get put back up, and they would not do it. Now, John Kirby, Biden's national security communications advisor, also said at the time that the drones were not a national security or public safety risk. Now, to the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircrafts that are being operated lawfully, Kirby said at the time. So there you have it, you guys. So that's all the information that we are getting so far. And if we get any more updates on this, I will let you know, because right now, like that previous article said, White House reveals Trump's explanation on the New Jersey drones, and it just basically raises more questions than anything else. So we will see. Now, if I get a chance to get more information, I will go ahead and ask and see. But also, in addition to that, take a look at this. I thought this was fascinating. They are opening up the White House to independent news journalists. So I think I'm going to go ahead and apply for this, and you guys can let me know what you want me to ask if I get in. It says they are encouraging anybody. If you're a YouTuber, a podcaster, they said that the world is sick of the mainstream media that only has access to the White House. So you know what? I'm going to apply, and I'm going to try to get in there, and you guys can let me know like what you would like for me to ask the White House. But if I can get in there, I'll talk to the press secretary, bring questions, see if we can get clarification on things. I know there's a lot of things that people see as the priority that are just being overlooked all the time. So I'm not opposed to it. But take a look at this. This also came out in the first press briefing and I had heard rumors of this, that they were going to open this up to social media, and it looks like they are. Donald Trump is saying, open up the White House to independent journalists, to social media influencers. Let's go ahead and have them be more of the real news, and let's have the mainstream media kind of sit more on the sidelines. Nobody even trusts them anymore because they're so biased and they're full of baloney in their reporting, and they just, people just don't trust them anymore. And people are starting to rely more and more on social media and independent reporters that are coming in and just sharing the information. So, hey, I'm going to apply, you guys, and I don't know. We'll see. If I can get in there, that would be super cool. But take a look.
President Trump has held multiple news conferences, gaggled on Air Force One multiple times, and sat down for a 2-part interview on Fox News, which aired last week. As Politico summed it up best, Trump is everywhere again. And that's because President Trump has a great story to tell about the legendary American revival that is well underway. And in keeping with this revolutionary media approach that President Trump deployed during the campaign, the Trump White House will speak to all media outlets and personalities, not just the legacy media who are seated in this room. Because according to recent polling from Gallup, Americans' trust in mass media has fallen to a record low. Millions of Americans, especially young people, have turned from traditional television outlets and newspapers to consume their news from podcasts, blogs, social media, and other independent outlets. It's essential to our team that we share President Trump's message everywhere and adapt this White House to the new media landscape in 2025. To do this, I'm excited to announce the following changes will be made to this historic James S. Brady briefing room, where Mr. Brady's legacy will endure. This White House believes strongly in the First Amendment, so it's why our team will work diligently to restore the press passes of the 440 journalists whose passes were wrongly revoked by the previous administration. We're also opening up this briefing room to new media voices who produce news-related content and whose outlet is not already represented by one of the seats in this room. We welcome independent journalists, podcasters, social media influencers, and content creators to apply for credentials to cover this White House. And you can apply now on our new website, whitehouse.gov/newmedia. Starting today, this seat in the front of the room, which is usually occupied by the press secretary's staff, will be called the new media seat. My team will review the applications and give credentials to new media applicants who meet our criteria and pass United States Secret Service requirements to enter the White House complex. So in light of these announcements, our first questions for today's briefing will go to these new media members whose outlets, despite being some of the most viewed news websites in the country, have not been given seats in this room.
I'm Steve Ducey.
There you have it, you guys. Wow, it sounds like they're already doing it. And I guess that makes sense because I had heard that they were going to be doing this already before, that they were going to be opening it up to independent news reporters, social media influencers, podcasters, things of that nature. I hadn't heard anything about it until today, the first press briefing that the new White House press secretary did. And so I'm going to go ahead and apply for it because that would be pretty epic, is to be able to get actually into the White House, into the briefing room, and be able to ask questions, see if I can get information for people, and report directly from the White House. That would be super cool. So I'll see if we can make it happen or not. We'll see if they accept my application. But you guys, that is the latest coming out. And like I said, if there's more that comes out on the drones, as we had heard from her also, she said that the drones were approved by the FAA. They're U.S. drones. They were there originally for research and other reasons, but didn't specify. If we get any more information, I'll be sure to share here on the channel, let you guys know everything that is going on. And like I said, there is a whole lot. I will keep you guys up to speed on everything. But do me a favor, do just like Rob is saying, hit that like button, subscribe to stay up to date. If this is your first time here, it's totally free. Why not? I'll keep you up to speed on everything. And let's go ahead and play this one last time because I see we got more people coming in. If you missed it, here is the clip on the drones for you. If you missed it, this is a 30-second clip update, 43 seconds.
And before I turn to questions, I do have news directly from the President of the United States that was just shared with me in the Oval Office. From President Trump directly, an update on the New Jersey drones. After research and study, The drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy. A statement from the President of the United States to start this briefing with.
There you have it, you guys. So she said this was not the enemy. These are U.S. drones. We had heard that these drones were here for research and other reasons. And that's about all we got. But if we get anything else, I'll be sure to let you know here on the channel. I'll report it right away because people still not buying it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you buying it? Or do you think that there's more to it and they are not sharing it with us? Let me know your thoughts. It'd be nice if we could get a little bit of more explanation. If you're skeptical, put a 1. If you're not and you think, no, it's just a nothing burger and that's all there is to it, put a 2. Let me know your thoughts. But don't forget, while you're dropping 1s and 2s, to hit that like button for me. Subscribe to stay up to date, and I'll keep you up to speed on everything. There is a lot going on, you guys. But that is the latest. Thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.